This video is possible thanks to the brand new plugin by Audio Singularity, the Neurontape 1972, a 50-year-old Japanese tape machine made into a plugin. Check it out. There is a link in the video description and there is a free trial available. Hello my friend, welcome. My name is Amner Hunter from amnerhunter.com. Happy to spend some time with you on this video. This time around we're gonna be checking out a couple of two new freebies, and also want to check out a couple of interesting and great deals in music production tools. I'm sorry if you received the notification of this live stream before, but something went wrong with the video. This time around I think I'd have it fixed, so welcome. Let's go quickly through the plugins we're going to be covering up today. First, we have this cool freebie by a independent Russian developer. It's called the PocketCab, a pretty cool impulse response plugin. This is not an impulse response, it's an impulse response plugin. Alright, I'm gonna explain more about it. Next up, we're gonna be checking out the Lifeline Expanse Lite by the company Excite Audio. This $49 plugin, you can get it for free with a coupon code that I am leaving you down below that will allow you to drop this price to zero. And also we're gonna be checking out this awesome deal by Baby Audio that currently has a summer sale. This is the Spaced Out that currently has a 50% off here at Plugin Boutique. And finally, we're going to be checking out the brand new release by the company Wavesfactory. This is the Equalizer, just like that. It has a 40% off introductory price. And this is a pretty interesting and innovative plugin that I think can be a good alternative, cheaper alternative to Soothe 2 and also to gullfoss. Alright, so as usual, I will leave you all of the applicable and downloadable links in the video description and first comment, and I will also leave you timestamps in case you want to move around between the mini segments of the video. And as a friendly reminder, here at Plugin Boutique, in the purchase of any plugin of any price, you're gonna have a free copy of Baby Audio Comeback Kit. Pretty cool delay by Baby Audio. Alright, before we begin with the content, let me invite you quickly to my website amnerhunter.com, where I have some additional freebies for you, such as some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players. Also some free tools such as some collections of guitar impulses, some collections of drum sample packs, among other utilities. And finally, don't forget to check out this channel or my blog, which I am updating almost daily with content like this. Alright, let me know if you are here in the live chat. I hope that it's working, and yeah, let me know your questions or comments. I'm gonna be happy to read them in a moment. Alright, so let's go here to my session and begin with this couple of freebies first. So this new plugin is called PocketCab. The Russian independent developer reached me via email and talked to me about this idea that he had when where the impulses that we use normally are made with the usual microphones, right? Like blends of SM57 with a condenser maybe, so pretty regular microphones with regular positions. So this independent developer thought that his brand of microphone, not his brand, but the brand he had or have at the time is better in some way, and he preferred his impulses rather than the ones that were available. So he created this plugin where he could blend a couple of his microphone positions and techniques into one plugin. Right here you have a mix 1 and 2, which is like the blend between the two microphones, right? First a condenser and also a dynamic microphone, and the brand of these microphones, it's a different brand than, let's say, Shure or those type of huge brands, right? So also this plugin has an input and output, pretty straightforward. You have some meters as well to have an idea of the levels, if you're in green, yellow, or in the reds, right? Pretty cool. And let's start with this first impulse. And I think it's the first one, it's a bit more fizzy, but not in a bad way. It's more prominent in the highs. And the second one, it's more like mid-rangey, let's say. So combining the two of them is where the magic begins, right? And you can create pretty interesting textures, and I think they sound great. Also, one thing that I tested is that this plugin or the combination of the two of them doesn't create phase issues when collapsing the guitar sound to mono. So very, very important. I believe this is a conscious choice by the developer if he knows how to create impulses, which I am sure of it because it sounds great and I think you're gonna love it. So let's begin with the first impulse. So the impulse response is on the plugin PocketCab, and let's begin. Right? Super beefy and also with some cool highs. You can also say that it's a bit like with a lot of sizzle, right? But you can blend the other one. Let's hear that. Right? Also a very punchy sound. Of course it has to do a lot with the amp, but a proper impulse response goes a long way. More mid-rangey. So let's combine the two of them. First, the mix one or condenser. Right, you get nicely the best of both worlds. This is like pretty much a volume knob for each one of the impulses. And you can match here the input and output with these like LEDs. Right, and let's test it here in this mix. Let's right, I think pretty cool impulses that can be combined in this plugin. Unfortunately, this one is only available for Windows at the moment. Let the developer know if you want any more. He asks and says that on the post at his Patreon website. Alright, so pretty cool stuff, and pretty generous of him to develop this and give it away for free, right? So let's move on with the next freebie in this list. Is this cool multi-effect plugin by Excite Audio, and this is the Lifeline Expanse Lite. It includes 5 modules, right, that can be combined and moved here in the signal chain, whatever you want, right? So the signal chain starts here at the left and goes to the right. All the way to the output, right? So you can turn on and turn off also each one of the 5 modules. You can combine them nicely with the blend and mix control that each and one of them has. All right, so let's start here with the format. This format will change the bits of audio, will degrade the audio, creating interesting effects. You can crush the audio as well with this blend, with this crush. And also you have this tone that will brighten the sound or darken the sound. Double click and it resets by default. Also you have the dirt, which will introduce tube saturation, tape saturation, rectify, which is more distorted, and fuzz, right? With this you add the drive to each one of these modes that you have. Then the tone is the same, brighten or darken with this, and the blend. Then the reamp will allow you to pass the audio through a device, a cabinet, monitors, or vintage equipment. And with this H control, you increase the H of the device or cabinet or monitors, right? And the sound becomes more like low fidelity. Then the same, the tone and the mix or blend. And then you have a width that will enhance the stereo sound, will expand the sound to stereo in the stereo image, right? You have here the haze effect, where you make the left and right channels a bit off, so you start to hear a bit more open the sound. And then you have also mid-side processing, okay, and then detune will create fluctuations in the sound, and also mono. You can collapse to mono the whole sound with this. And finally a space, which is a reverb that has hold reverb, plate, spring reverb, and slap echo. Pretty cool. Here you choose the time of the desired space or reverb, right, in milliseconds. You have a universal mix blend knob, and also universal input and output, and a universal high cut and low cut here, right? So let's start by applying format mode to these drums that I have. Okay. Right. Starting to reduce the quality. Resample. Flatten. Like video games, right? Stuff like that. Washed. Pretty cool, the parallel processing that you can create with the blend knob on each one of the modules or sections. Then the dirt. Let's add some tube saturation first. Tape. Perfect for vintage sound. All right, reamp. Cabinet. Monitors. Lowering the fidelity. Yeah, lo-fi sound. Okay, and width. Let's start with the has. Expands the sound of the drums to the left and right. Mid-side, detune. Some fluctuations. And mono. And finally the space reverb. Plate. Spring. And slap. I cut. And we can create very cool combinations of them. And this, of course, the universal mix. Pretty cool multi-effect by Excite Audio, available for free. I'm not sure if for a limited time, but go ahead and take advantage of it. Right? So let's move on with the next plugin, the first paid one of this list. It's the Spaced Out by Baby Audio. This is a cool combination of reverb and delay, making a very efficient, intelligent workflow, I think, by Baby Audio. As all of the other plugins by Baby Audio, I love this one. Alright, so this here, you could break down this plugin into three modules. The delay and echoes are here at the left. All of this module square or rectangle. Then you have the dry wet functionality, right, where you can use only the delay. If you put this to the left, this to the right, only the reverb, and the dry wet of the two of them combined from 0 to 100%, like that, right? You double click and it resets everything by default. Also, you have the third module, which is the reverb here at the right, where this is dedicated only for the reverb, right? So let's begin here with the delay. So you have three modes. First, the straight regular delay. Then you have 2x, dotted, and triplets. Okay, and these squares that you see here with circles, you're gonna add or put different circles here in these squares to add some repetitions, right? With this generate, you can create random repetitions for the delay, right? Random echoes and stuff. Clear, like that. And also here you have the feedback with this intensity and sustain here in the left part. Also dimension adds another like motion to the delays. And here you have 4 textures. First the clean, normal, then wonky tape, lo-fi, and hazy texture. This reverse is pretty cool. The repetitions are gonna be in reverse. Very cool. And you have a high pass and low pass filter here. Okay. And then here in the center where you have the dry wet functionality between the 2 effects and also the 2 of them combined, you have here a Docker, right? Like compression, a bit of compression. Then you can synchronize to your BPM in your project. And also you have an output, right? And this dice is to generate random algorithms in the plugin, right? It will give you some crazy sounds sometimes. And at the right you have the reverb section where you have vacuum reverb, small space, medium space, and outer space, which is huge, like cosmic sounds, right? And with this you create different algorithms for the reverb, right? Moving this circle. We're gonna check out that in a moment. You can turn off also and turn on each one of the modules like that. And you have here pre-delay in this circle, stardust that will add another texture, mellow, it's a low cut and high cut. All right, and cleanup, and the width, which will expand the sound of the reverb in the stereo spectrum. 100% is 100% stereo, and 0% is mono, like that. You have a lot of incredible presets here to choose from, more than 100, 125 to be more precise. So let's check out this reverb here, reverb delay here on this lead guitar. I'm gonna start with the delay here and then the reverb, and then I'm gonna combine them to have a nice like dimension to it, right? So let's start here with the delay. Where is it? Here. Okay. Okay, here you have dotted. All right. Feedback, sustain. Okay, this dimension pretty cool, expands the delays. One key texture. Lo-fi and hazy. I believe it adds a bit of chorusing. And this reverse is pretty cool. Alright. Pretty psychedelic there, and the filters. You can make the delays and repetitions a bit more like analogy, low fidelity. Pretty cool. I love it. Alright, and let's move on with the reverb and set the reverb. right? Here you have like 4 quadrants, right? This is alien, this is trippy, lush, and cosmic. You can have a combination of the 4 of them here. Let's start with the vacuum. Focused in the center. Bigger. And bigger. Awesome. Trippy. Cosmic. Pre-delay. I don't have delay at this point, right? Only reverb. Stardust, nice texture. Awesome. And now we can combine delay and reverb, right? So dry. We can favor one or the other. Awesome textures by Baby Audio. And finally, let's move on with the last plugin in this list, which is the brand new release by Wavesfactory. This is not Waves Audio, right? This is Wavesfactory. It's another company. So this equalizer, it's called just plain like that, Equalizer. The main idea, I thought it was a pretty creative and innovative. Well, maybe not innovative, because there are some others like Soothe 2 and Gullfoss that do this in a similar way, but this, I think it's a bit special in that sense, where I'm gonna mute here the output to show you also visually what this plugin does. Right, so this plugin has 32 bands that will automatically adjust the frequency spectrum. All of the frequencies throughout the frequency spectrum will be adjusted and balanced in terms of volume, right? So that it also, this plugin does it in real time with 0 latency. So you can use this plugin live, for instance, and it will react in real time to the audio. It analyzes all of the samples, not a portion of the samples or something. So it analyzes everything in real time, and it creates small adjustments throughout the frequency spectrum, cutting and boosting so that the audio remains balanced. And I think it's a pretty cool plugin. We're gonna check out some audio examples in a moment. You have here some, you can see some cuts, right, below 0 decibels, and some boosts as well above 0 decibels, and it's doing it in real time, like I said, 3 times I already said it, right? It's doing it like that. It's adjusting at the same time the audio is passing through it. So always is doing this task, right? And this plugin also, well, the main control it's here is the amount control, where you choose how much the plugin is reacting to this, all of this balancing. So if you increase the amount, the boosts and cuts will be bigger, as you see, right? You double click and it resets by default, and you have here cut and boost knob. So with this you can decrease a bit the cuts or the boosts, right? And you can also solo with this delta mode. You can listen only these cuts or listen only the boosts, right? Pretty cool. Everything, all of the audio analyzed in a very smart way. You have the attack and release, so that you can also let the plugin know like how fast it reacts to the incoming signal and how slow or fast it recovers, right? With the release here from slower, faster, 10 milliseconds all the way up to 1000 milliseconds, which is 1 second. And the same goes with the release. You have also mid-side functionality here. Here in the center at 50%, you are analyzing the stereo sound, normal sound. And if you put it all the way to the left, you're analyzing and hearing only the mid, the center part of your mix, and hear the sides all the way up to the right, right? So I'm gonna leave it by default, and in stereo mode you have tilt. You're gonna tilt the EQ curve to the right. You're gonna favor the highs, right? And to the left you're gonna favor the lows. You're tilting the EQ curve, okay? Then you have a mix control and output, and you have also an automatic gain compensation, which I think it's pretty cool, pretty clean and precise. And you have of course an input and output here. All right, so let's check out these drums, and just putting the plugin by default, it's already balancing, right? So let's listen to these drums. Right, so it's like cleaning up some like resonances here in the highs and lows, and boosting some frequencies, also highs, lows, mids. Let's listen to the cuts, right? The developer doesn't mention this plugin as a dynamic EQ, but to me it seems that it has something of that, because it's using EQ but with movement. So pretty cool, like Gullfoss 2 or Sound Theory, Soothe 2 by Ook Sound, which also are analyzing the audio and removing resonances and adding also good frequencies in real time. This plugin does it in 32 bands across the frequency spectrum. These are the boosts. Okay, before, after. After sounds like with less boxy frequencies here. A bit brighter, a bit cleaner, I think, and clearer as well. Okay, the tilt favoring the highs. The lows. You can use it in every element in your mix, whether it be individual track, groups, buses in the mix bus or master bus, and it will do great. Also, one functionality that it's very important to not overlook is with your mouse you can indicate the plugin this, like this curve or whatever you want to do it. And it's very important to mention that this is not an EQ curve, right? This only indicates the plugin that the algorithm doesn't react or react more in these dots that we draw here, right? So for instance, if you click in your keyboard any function command, for instance control in Windows or alt, you put every one of the 32 bands in zero and in flat, by default, right? So let's say I don't want the lows to be affected, these drums. I just make this and the plugin will not put attention to the lows. It'd be very useful in guitars, for instance, if I want this processing to be used in mid-range and highs, but I don't want the lows to be boosted, right? Let's check it out also in this bass guitar. Before boosts. It makes, I think, the sound a bit cleaner, a bit clearer, and the frequencies do not jump all over the place, and that's the idea behind this plugin. Let's check it out also in this guitars. Let's see if I have this engaged. All right, this distorted guitars that we listened before. Right, making the sound brighter. The boosts, the cuts. This is a very good example of where I don't want this plugin to react to the lows. I don't want the lows to be boosted. As you see here, is boosting some lows here in the super low end. So I want this to be ignored. Let's say from all right, there. So it's only adjusting here in the highs. Let's check out the cuts. Before. And for instance, if I just want to concentrate on the cuts, right, it's removing some like low end rumble or something here, low mid area mostly. So this is a great equalizer, new one by Wavesfactory. Please let me know here in the comment section what you think of them. I see here some people in the chat. Mark Lee Wilkins says, just made it. What did I miss? Hello, Mark. At what time you arrived here, man? 4 cool plugins here in the list. Gary Thompson says, whoa, I almost missed it. Hey, Amner, hi everyone. Hello guys, thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it very much. Alright, so that's it. Let me know what you think of this plugins. I'm gonna be very interested to know your opinions about them. Alright, and let's check out here. By the way, this plugin was sponsored by Audio Singularity and the brand new plugin Neurontape 1972. Pretty cool tape saturation. 50-year-old Japanese tape machine made into a plugin. Go ahead and try it. There is a free trial available. Link is in the video description. Before we leave, let me invite you one last time to my website, amnorhunter.com, where you can get some additional freebies such as some free PDF guides and ebooks, some free tools such as some collections of guitar impulses, some drum sample packs, among other utilities, and finally, don't forget to check out my blog or this channel, which I am updating almost daily with content like this. Thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it very much. I will see you very soon in the next one. Alright, bye bye.